said, for the Department of Toxic Substance Control in the Safer Consumer Products program. I just want to start by telling you about where I come from, my education, and what I bring to the state before I delve into the details of living in the Bay Area. So I have a PhD from UC Berkeley in Environmental Science, Policy, and Management, and I have a bachelor's in Earth and Planetary Sciences from Jacobs University Bremen in Germany. But straight out of that bachelor's, UC Berkeley offered me a full-on scholarship to do a PhD in Environmental Science, Policy, and Management. After UC Berkeley, I got a job at a nonprofit. I was there for a couple of years, and then I started my job with DTSC. And while I was at DTSC, actually, last year, I got selected as one of the 20 pioneers under 40 in environmental public health in the U.S. Part of my work has been on hazardous chemicals in consumer products, and my research has been reported by the media worldwide. During my time at DTSC, I co-wrote 2 other papers that are the first and third most read papers in environmental science and technology letters. And I really have to say that my job in the Safer Consumer Products program is my dream job. We are a very small program. We're only about 20 or so scientific staff. We are about 50-50 scientists and engineers. We work side by side, scientists and engineers, and I know this is not a talk about the pay differential, but it is the reality that we work under. I manage teams that contain engineers. They make 30 to 40% more than I do. So in many ways, again, I would say this job really fits my skills, it fits my interests, it is my dream job, but there is a reality beyond the dream. And the reality is that I live in the Bay Area where a 6-figure income can be low income. It's kind of a shock, but it's true. So I started looking at the cost of housing in the Bay Area, and it's pretty astronomical. And this is a little bit clearer. So a lot of houses in this area are around the $600,000-$700,000 mark. 80% of the houses on the market in March 2018 were sold over the asking price. Here's another really shocking one. This is from San Jose. A house that burned 2 years ago is selling for $799,000, and it's most likely going to sell for well over $1 million, just because of its location. So how much house can I afford? I actually wanted to know, so I inquired with the California Employee Loan Program how much I could afford. And actually, I do have a side job, actually 2 side jobs. I make an extra $10,000 a year with that. So with my state scientist plus the $10,000 or so that I make as a yoga teacher, I could afford at most a $550,000 house. And granted, those exist. I could probably get one, but they're fixer-uppers, which means I'd have to spend a lot of money to make the house livable, but the mortgage would basically be my entire paycheck, so that's not really possible. I could get a better house that may not require as much work on it with a cosigner. I could qualify for maybe a $700,000 loan, but the mortgage would be astronomical, over $5,000 a month. So basically, I soon realized, okay, no house for me. So I'm going to stick to renting. And this is what rents look like in Alameda County. An average studio in Alameda County is about $1,800. And realistically, with my salary, I cannot go above $1,500. Luckily, I have a partner. Luckily, we live together. Luckily, we're still together. Knock on wood. We're going to be together hopefully for a while because we cannot afford to live alone in the Bay Area. I actually live in Emeryville. In Emeryville, an average studio is over $2,300 a month. And you get the picture. It goes up from there. And again, these are average prices. So of course, there are cheaper options. But they're really hard to get by. That means that as somebody without a high income in the Bay Area, what I'm left with are the apartment complexes. So I'll give you a little tour of those apartment buildings. The Higbee up there is the one closest to the Berkeley DTSC office. And as you can see, a studio starts at $2,700 a month. On top of that, of course, there's parking, of course, there's utilities on top of that and all that. And I should mention that the Higbee consistently ranks as one of the cheapest options available on Craigslist. This is Emeryville. I guess the cheapest is Park on Powell. So when you see the kinds of prices that are there, and you know that the rent only keeps going up, there seriously comes a point when you start wondering, am I going to be the next person that will have to live in her car? Right? And this is an actual blog from the UC Berkeley student newspaper. These are instructions of how to live in your car because so many UC Berkeley students have to do that. But I have options, right? With a PhD from UC Berkeley, with my degree and my credentials, I have options, right? I could find another job outside of the Bay Area, of course I could move. So my other job is to get a management position within the state. But I'm a technical scientist. I would be best suited to continue doing this kind of work instead of supervising people doing this kind of work. I could, of course, get another job outside of state service. So the percent increase working for the county would be at least 21%. Working for the federal government, it's about a 32% increase. Working for industry, of course, is 63% plus increase. So I'm here today because I'm hoping that there may be a fourth option where we, young scientists working for the state, could be recognized for what we bring, where the state can actually retain us. But us who are new, we often can't make it past 2 to 5 years because we just cannot afford the cost of living. If the state wants to keep people like me, something has to change. So what could change is, we could have, again, the similar pay with supervisors. It could be brought up like our classification used to be, or there could be a GeoPay perspective, taking into account the cost of living and giving us the 30 to 40% increase that would account for these costs of living so that we can continue to serve the state and to do what we do best. But right now it's coming at a too big a cost. So hoping you'll consider this, and thank you for your attention.